Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another review, another spring review. I have so many collections pouring in and I'm trying to stay on top of them and get them out quickly, and I've had quite a few videos lately, so hopefully you've been enjoying those. And today I have the ORLY Spring Collection, but before I talk about that, I am going to talk about what I'm wearing on my lips so you guys have it. I am wearing MAC Pure Zen on my lips. It's a nice peachy shade, and then I have this L'Oreal Natural lip liner. So that's on my lips, and I played a little game on my Instagram yesterday to have you guys guess what the polish I was wearing on my nails was, and a few of you got it right, so that's pretty awesome. I'm wearing Swoon in the Lagoon. It's a really nice pink. I was just really craving pink, especially since it's February. That's when I really start to pull a lot of them out. Speaking of pink, I just pulled out all my pinks that I love, and I'm going to go through them and pick 10 today and also film that for you today as well. So that should be up. I haven't really done that before, so hopefully you guys like that. I was thinking it would be fun to do for Valentine's Day. Okay, so the ORLY Spring 2023 collection, it's the Hopeless Romantic collection. It does definitely have like a dreamy theme. It's got half creams, half shimmers, which is a really nice balance, I think, for everybody. I like that OPI did that this spring, and so did ORLY as well. Kind of helps reach a lot of customers. I've been liking their themes lately. In their winter, they had that kind of urban-y, mysterious theme, and this time they have a light, airy, kind of dreamy theme. Tell me if you guys are liking that. When you look at this collection, you'll probably be like, oh, seen that, been there, done that, or lots of shimmers, depending on what you like. But a few of them surprised me, and there's a few that I would say for sure get. The collection should start becoming available soon, and it will pop up at Beyond Polish. I will let you know on my Instagram when that does become available, but their color box subscriptions have just been coming out recently, and then they usually release them after that, so that should be happening pretty soon. The first one we have is Meet Cute, and I love that name, and I love ORLY does these really nice kind of peachy warm pinks, really nice. This one's so beautiful. It's a mid-tone pink, leans a little bit peach, so it's a little bit warmer, which I'm actually really liking right now. But a thing that stands out about this one a little bit is it's slightly muted. It does have quite a bit of white in the base as well, so it's a little bit more opaque and has a little bit more of that plastic feel that I get from ORLY. I'm not quite sure what it is about that. A lot of my favorite ORLY polishes have that kind of plasticky look, and it's really, really glossy and nice. So the formula is really nice. Like I said, it's glossy. You might need 3 coats though. I did notice that it was a little bit patchy in some areas with 2, so if you don't like that, then maybe this color isn't for you. I don't mind that kind of crelliness because it does give you that kind of almost transparent plastic look. Let me know in the comments down below if you know what I'm talking about. But the formula is really great, but like I said, you probably will need 3 coats unless you're applying them super thick, but I don't necessarily recommend that. Sometimes I do apply them a little thicker for my swatches just so you can see like the full opacity, but in my full review I'm going to tell you like exactly what I would suggest for each individual polish. Okay, so let's look at those comparisons because this is a shade that you would look at and go, oh, we've seen this a million times. So let's see what is close to it. I compared it to Ice Cream and Shout, and that's a touch darker and has a little bit more red in it. And extra credit I think was the closest on this hand for sure. If it's not exact, it's a little bit brighter and maybe a touch lighter. And then Pin Me Pink is lighter and leans a little more pink. So I like that we've been coming out with some more of these warm pinks because we do have a lot of these cooler toned kind of purple leaning pinks. And then I compared it to OPI Sunrise Up, and it's very close, almost exact, but that has this nice warm golden shimmer in it. Love that one so much. And then OPI Got Myself Into Jambalaya is brighter and more peach leaning, and Kiss Me I'm Brazilian is brighter and more pink. I thought that would help you kind of see just how warm it is compared to those other colors. It's hard for me to like pinpoint some of these pinks because it is slightly different, but not exactly the same. So I really, really enjoyed this one. It made me think of Cotton Candy, one of my favorite ORLY polishes. That one's quite a bit lighter and a little bit more peachy, but it reminded me a lot of that, so I definitely really like this one. Then we have Check Yes or No, and it's this beautiful purpley pink. We've seen a lot of these lately, so I know you're definitely going to want to get to the comparisons for this. Like I said, it's like a purple leaning pink, and it has quite a bit of white in the base, and it's slightly muted, which I really like about it, but it's still a little bit brighter because it has so much white in the base. The formula is is pretty much similar to the other one, 2 coats. It's maybe a little more opaque than the other one. Speaking of that plastic formula, Plastic Jungle, that whole collection, it's like the Orly Summer, was it 2020 or 2021? I'll put it up here. My favorite collection to date. I really think so. I loved all the polishes in there. I tend to really love summer polishes. You need that whole collection, you guys. You just have to pick it up. I'll put a link down below to my review. Those all have that kind of plastic look to it, as well as Orly Frolic, which is one of my favorites that you really can't get anymore. It really has that kind of plastic feel to it, which is just amazing to me. And speaking of Frolic, this one I thought was going to be very close to it, and Frolic always surprises me how pink it is, and I think it's just because we've been getting more of these purpley pinks, and that one's becoming less of a purple pink because we're getting so many, and so it really is quite a bit brighter and lighter. Well, let's get into the comparisons, because I did pick like the 4 closest that I have out of all that have been released lately, so you can see Essie in the Universe and Kaleidoscope Eyes. Those are all kind of lighter pinky purples, so I didn't compare it to those, but let's look at what I did compare it to. Fuel Your Desire, such a great one. I will just say first out, I love all of these. They are all so great. That one's darker and more purple, a little bit more rich too. It doesn't have as much white in the base. And then OPI Arigato from Tokyo. I pulled this one out, and I hadn't pulled it out before because this one is a little bit more muted, but that one's very close. In the picture, it looks almost exact. It's maybe a touch darker and not as bright just because it is a little bit more muted, but that one's really close. I love that polish. I haven't pulled that one out for a long time, but it's a really great one. Oh, and I did put on Orly Frolic just so you could see, and that's definitely more of a brighter pink, even though it is still a little bit purple leaning. So hopefully that's helpful, and I'll probably get asked about other comparisons, but I really just pulled in what was the closest. You can kind of see here on my nails, this is Swoon in the Lagoon, so colors like that are deeper and richer, and then Flowerista is even a touch deeper and a touch more purple than this one, so I didn't pull those ones out. Lots of talking about that polish. I really liked that one. And then we have Oh Darling, and it's this beautiful bright cherry polish. Can I say it's probably my favorite now? I probably can. I love this so much, you guys. I'm always on the hunt for a good cherry red polish, and this one has the same kind of formula, but it's still a little bit crelly. We'll talk about that in a second. This one does have a little bit of white in the base. It's slightly muted. It's just amazing. The formula is a little bit crelly, but it does build up super nice in 2 coats. I really was kind of investigating my nails, and I was like, yep, just 2 coats will be plenty, I think. I mean, anyway, I love this. So I was excited to do comparisons for this red because I was curious to see how it compared to some of my favorites. Usually I hate doing comparisons for reds, but this one I was actually excited about. So let's look at those, because these are like my favorite reds that are the bright cherry reds. Not Christmassy reds. I like a little more kind of purple leaning red, but I like the cherry reds, summer and spring and winter too. But anyway, let's get into it. So I compared it to Dutch Tulips. I've been loving that one. I just recently picked it up like last year, and I hadn't ever had that polish before. And you'll see that that and Be Cherry and All About the Bows are pretty much the same color tone, but you can see that Oh Darling, well, hopefully you can see, it's kind of hard with reds. Oh Darling has a little bit more white in it, and it's slightly muted. So while it is kind of the same color tone, the formula is a little bit different, and I just love it, you guys. I'm definitely going to be pulling this one out. I'm really excited about this one. Okay, so there's the creams. Let's get into the shimmery colors. And these are the more kind of dreamy colors that I'm thinking they're talking about in this hopeless romantic. But I guess, you know, reds and pinks for Valentine's, that's totally hopeless romantic too. So I love the theme. So fun. Then we have Written in the Stars, and this is a really nice blue. It has some kind of silver metallic shimmer in there. I wouldn't say it's iridescent, but it's definitely kind of metallic shimmery. I was surprised that the formula on this one was a little bit thinner, so I think you can, if you do the coats a little bit thicker but not too thick, build it up to 2, but you might want to do 3 thinner coats. This one is interesting. I don't think I'll wear it. I can say that I think it'd be fun on like my daughter's toes. I wouldn't wear this on my toes personally. I just like more kind of like classic colors on my toes, but it would be fun in the summer on toes. Okay, let's look at the comparisons that I have, but nothing really compares to this one. We have Let It Ripple and All Tie-Dyed Up and Mercury in Retrograde. Go in all the differences because you can see them, but they're all different. They all have glitter, and probably out of all of these, I probably do like Written in the Stars the best. So there's that. Hopefully that's helpful. cool, but I think a lot of you that like glitter and shimmer are probably gonna like this one. I do like that it's cool toned. I like that a lot. And then we have Serendipity, and this one's really interesting too. I notice it's showing up a little bit more blue, and that's because the glitter stands out. But when I'm looking at it here myself, I see a lot of purple. I don't know if you can see that too. So it does have some iridescence to the shimmer as well. And this one's really interesting. It's quite glittery. I think the glitter shimmer pieces are about the same size as this other polish. They just stand out a little bit more, so you can kind of see the defined edges of them. So the formula on this one, I think same thing. You need 2 or 3 coats depending on how you apply it. It's probably a little more opaque than the other one. I really think you'll probably get away with 2 coats on this one. I can't really remember exactly how many I did. I might have even done 1 for the live swatch if I could have gotten away with it. But let's look at the comparisons for this one, even though this one's kind of different too. I compared it to Zoya Elsa, and that one's very close. That's the one it actually reminded me of, and I don't pull out Zoya very often these days, but I did remember that one. That one just has bigger glitter pieces sporadically throughout it, which I like quite a bit actually. For someone who doesn't like glitter, that one's really pretty. And then Essie, Get On Board, and OPI, Do You See What I See? Those are both very similar to each other, and they're different from Serendipity, but I really just pulled out ones that I had in my collection. I don't have a ton of glittery ones that were closest to this that you guys could see it. So I think this one's interesting. Is it a favorite of mine from the collection? Not particularly. And then here's Opposites Attract, and this one's really, really interesting. It has a purple base to it. It's a little bit sheerish, and then it has this blue shimmer that's pretty strong throughout it, but it also has a little bit of kind of muted, mysterious formula as well. So with this polish, it does dry down a little bit matte. Oh, no, I wouldn't say matte, maybe a little bit satinish or eggshell. And so I took a picture without a top coat, and then I wanted to take a picture with a top coat just so you could see the difference. And I definitely always like that glossy top coat on top of these, just because it makes the glitter pieces stand out and it just brightens it up and brings everything out a little bit. Even though I don't really wear glitter polishes, I still like it to look nice for my photos, and so that's just what I prefer, but I wanted you to see it both ways. So it reminded me a lot of some of the polishes from the winter collection, especially Dynamism, is that the name of it? I really liked that one. It was kind of like a muted neutral glitter polish, and this one's the same thing. It's actually really cool, and it's really interesting when you paint it on your nails. The brush looks blue, but when it goes on, it looks kind of purple, and hopefully you can see that in the application that I'm showing you. But I found that really interesting. It really made me like it quite a bit. It's really, really different and quite unique. It's quite muted, and it's going to build up, I would say, in 2 coats. So I think this is one to grab from the collection for sure. And here are the comparisons. Glow with the Flow, the only one I had that was kind of close, and that's not as impressive as Orly. I just really like the Orly one better. There's something about it. And then The Sound of Vibrance, and then Stay Frosted was more blue, and those are just different. They're not close at all, but they were like the closest that I had. Okay, so these are my favorites here. I think you'll be surprised I didn't put in that purpley pink shade, but there's been so many of those that I don't want to get sick of them. If you make too many, I get tired of it. So I think I like some of the Essie ones better than that one, even though they're kind of close, a little similar. But these are the ones that I picked that are my favorites. I'm definitely going to be wearing this red, Oh Darling, and then this one was really fun. We'll see if I wear it. I don't know, this would actually be really cool on the toes as well, and maybe I'll try it. And it's called Opposites Attract. And then we have that really warm pink that I just love so much, especially for this time of year, and it's called Meet Cute. What were your favorites? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, and we will see you in my next review. Bye guys.